How are you? We're driving. Oh, okay. You're muted. You might be driving. That's all right. Excellent. All right. Excellent. Well, welcome everyone to day 16 of 30 Days of AI. Now that we're past the halfway point, we're really starting to build some more. So let's get into it. All right. Got more people coming in. Here we go. There's Mr. Mark Ruse. How we doing, sir?
Good, good, good. Sorry I was late.
All good. All right. We're jumping in today. All right. So the art of saying goodbye to busy work. So I did take a look at this a little bit. So we're going to check out some fun stuff. There's a lot going on today, a lot of things to do, a lot of thinking in today's lesson. So I'm kind of excited. All right. So day 16 is here. So what did we do yesterday? We built our first AI agent, and today we're going to make it real. So where does it belong? What are we going to do with it? So we have to be honest. We have to look at our calendar. What's it filled with? Copying data between tools, formatting the same reports, writing the same email for the 47th time? Probably. All right, how much of this stuff actually matters? Solving problems, building relationships. The truth, AI crushes the first list, so we can double down on the second. So use AI to do busy work, not creative work. So today we're going to dump our weekly tasks, the fun, the boring, classify them, automate, create workflows, agents, or human only, redesign our week so we know where to automate, what to agentify, and where to pour more of our energy. All right, where you're irreplaceable and where AI can find. I actually read that book that came out not that long ago, Irreplaceable. It is specifically about how to not be replaceable in the AI age. I forget who the author is. I have it over there. But it was a pretty good book about AI and how to be more human in the age of AI specifically. It was an interesting book. All right, let's redesign our week. Let's go through this. Ready for day 16? Sure are.
Yep.
Okay, a letter from Max. Oh, good old Max. Oh, good thing he postmarked it. That's good. So he did send it to us. All right. All right. What if we only did parts of our job that light us up? The creative parts. Oh, I can't highlight. The tough decisions, the moments where our judgment, creativity, and experience matter. And what if everything else, didn't I already send that email? Kind of tasks just happen in the background. So yesterday we did build our first agent. Now today we're taking it further. We're rethinking our role. But here's the truth. Work doesn't look like it did 5 years ago. What used to take hours now takes minutes. We used to need a whole team. Now it can just be you and AI. That is true. Most of us are still working back like it's 2019, heads down in busy work, doing habits that no longer make sense. So today we're going to break the frame. We'll map out some work that drains us, some that fuels us, and what reshapes our day. All right. And that shift away from drowning in tasks, our most valuable, meaningful work. Yes. Objectives. All right. So today we're going to get clear on what an agent really is and how it's different from automations and workflows. We're going to break our job into tasks. What can we automate, agentify, spot our sweet spot, spot your sweet spot. Okay. Weird words of choice. Okay. The human only areas where you should double down and that make you replaceable. Walk away with a plan. So one task will automate, agentify, and one task will invest more of our human energy to. So today we're going to use a Google Doc, a Miro board, or our own note-taking app, possibly NotebookLM. All right. We did that in day 3, I think. Day 3 was NotebookLM, something like that. All right. Field notes. The task classifier is your cheat sheet for sorting any tasks into 4 buckets: what it can automate, what it can boost, and what agents can handle, and finally, what only humans can do. All right. You guys notice that this emoji kind of relates to AI now? It's kind of the new AI emoji. I don't know. I just see that a lot of places talking about AI. All right. Spotlight. AI professional is one who develops a clear mental model. So what AI can actually handle, what AI can turbocharge, give us the superpowers, and doing what only we can do. So together we're going to build that mental model. That's where the work and the brain comes in. All right. What did they say? Agents are a buzzword. There's third wave of generative AI. We started with a generalist chat. Okay, so oh yeah, different forms of AI. So we started with the chat GPT pretty much kicked that off. And then we saw the chat experts. So some of the ones that niche down to specific industries, Jasper, Wordsmith, Zox, AI for advisors. So specifics. Now we're doing the third wave where they can execute tasks and do things with or without human oversight. All right, somebody else trying to get in? There we go. Yep, we got more people hopping in here. Aniko, welcome. We're diving into some fun stuff. We're looking at automating our day. If you didn't see, if you didn't open the lesson already, we're looking at making some changes to our
Cool.
calendar. Did you look at today's lesson? Did you open it up and take a look yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
That's why I like this call, because it's forcing me to to do things.
Absolutely, it's forcing me too. All right, I'm up early. I'm here every morning. It's making me. I have to pay attention. Got to put in my contacts. All the fun stuff.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. It's fun. All right. So yeah, the main lesson is we're looking at our calendar and we're trying to figure out what we can automate in our week and what we love doing that we don't want AI, what AI can help us with, and what we can just fully automate and get rid of our plates, get off our plates. All right. So understanding the agents. So yesterday we did build our first AI agent. Today we're going to understand what actually matters and get to the exciting part. All right, so think about our typical week. How much of it is actually using your brain and judgment, building relationships and solving real problems, or doing work that energizes us? You know, it's weird for me. I like getting on calls. I like doing demos. I'm a people person. So I like this right here energizes me. My wife, the exact opposite. She does not like talking to people. Nothing against people. She's an introvert. It's all right. All right. So this is what energizes me, talking to people. All right. How much of the week is copying data between systems? Copy, paste, copy, paste. Mark has a little bit of experience with copy, paste when we used to work together. Formatting reports again and again. Yes, absolutely.
Funny, not funny.
Yeah, funny, not funny. I know, because he did a lot of copy pasting. All right. Writing the same, and that was before AI. Writing the same email. Yes, we do that a lot. Doing work that drains us, but someone has to do it. Yeah, there's definitely some of that. So AI is good at the second list, which means we can focus on the first one. So today we're going to build a mental model together. Awesome. The spectrum, the first time I did this was the autism spectrum. No. Okay, the regular spectrum. All right. From simple automations to actual agents. So let's walk through the different kinds of tasks. All right. So these are the different things, tasks that we can do and how we can plug that into AI. So first thing is the automations. I think we all are somewhat familiar with automations, fairly simple, mostly if-then statements. Yeah, set it and forget it. If X, then Y. Fairly simple. Every time someone does this, fills out a contact form, automatically add them to your CRM and send a welcome email. Pretty simple. Best for predictable tasks where nothing ever changes. Then we have the AI workflow, so the vibe. So automation, but we need a brain in the middle. So if X happens, have AI process it intelligently, a specific way, then do Y. So an example for that would be a new customer support ticket arrives, AI reads it, figures out if it's urgent or not, it writes a 2-sentence summary, tags it by category, and then sends it to the correct team's Slack channel. Best for structured processes where you need some interruption, but the overall flow is predictable. This is pretty cool. At my job, I work at team support. So for where I work, we're actually doing this. So I do ticketing systems as well. So that's my job currently. We're doing this part right now within our ticketing system, which is pretty cool. It's a B2B ticketing. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. We're incorporating a lot of AI. All right, the final thing is the agents, the autonomous teammates that actually learn our context. So how the agents work is the trigger. So this is kind of what we built yesterday. So there's the trigger, the action, and then the memory. So the memory, the more specific thing is it remembers what happened so we can get better over time. Obviously, the trigger is what happens, and the action is it makes decisions. So like we talked about yesterday, we can have different steps, look at different things, validate different things, and then adapt as we go. But the key is that we have to remember, and how can it get better over time? So a month from now, 6 months from now, we're getting better output versus what we do today. So every morning, check our top 5 competitors' websites, compare it to last week's version, see what changed, figure out if any of that matters in our strategy, draft an email alert, save the insights in our competitive intel doc. That is quite a bit of steps. So a lot of things that can happen. So this is the complex tasks. Context is important. Situations evolve, and we want to do something that learns what we care about. Definitely a lot more complex, and we can see the progression of everything. But this is a pretty good explanation of this. Does this help you guys does this make sense? Like this, I think, is a pretty good explanation of what these do.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. All right. So today's mission, we're going to redesign our week. So now that we know the difference between the three and what we should do about it, we're going to map out my actual role, figure out what could be automated, augmented, and identify where we want to spend more of our time. So step 1, brain dump all of your tasks. Open a spreadsheet, doc, whatever. If you don't want to start from scratch, we can open up this Google Doc. If we want to be more visual, we can do a Miro board. Your work will be anonymous. All right, then we want to write down every reoccurring thing we do in a typical week. Big stuff, small stuff, the stuff we're proud of. Maybe time spent per week, rough estimate, how we feel about it. Energized, drained, busy work. Be honest. Include things that takes 2 hours, but you're pretty sure no one actually uses. All right, so here's a short list to jog our memory. All right, so before we create this list, let's take a look at all this stuff. So communication, emails, schedule updates, scheduling meetings, status updates, updating trackers, dashboards, meeting notes, and analysis and reporting, pulling data from different tools, copy from one tool, dump in another, creating weekly or monthly reports, definitely do that, spotting trends in spreadsheets, summarizing research or documents, creation and strategy, so building presentations, writing proposals or documentation, brainstorming new ideas, planning projects or campaigns, and then people and relationships. So we have one-on-ones with team members, client customer calls, mentoring, coaching, navigating stakeholder dynamics, resolving conflicts. All right, classify each task. Okay, so before we go on to step 2, we have our ideas in step 1. I do have a Google Doc right here that I copied, so I did this earlier. And we can expand this a little bit so we can see what this looks like. Make this bigger. All right, so this isn't just me here, so let's take a look. So this is what Max put in already. So drafting reports, spotting trends, team check-ins, so we can add some of our own tasks. I know, like the monthly, I do monthly finance, which I still need to do this month. Monthly finance. All right, what are some other tasks that you guys do? Let's make this a group effort here. So I have a whole bunch that I've thought of, but what do we got? So what are some things that we do daily or monthly?
How about daily learnings like this session that we're on every day?
Sure, daily learnings. So daily education.
And I have weekly meal planning for the family.
Weekly, you said meal planning?
Yeah, what to have for dinner and pack lunch for school and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So school, weekly meal planning, I would say
Utilities.
like utilities as in
Electric bill, water bill, gas, park, water bill, trash pickup bill, all whatever utilities.
utilities. So paying bills.
Phone bill.
Yeah, we'll kind of bucket all that into one. So we can do paying bills. See here what else. So weekly. So let's go back. Let's jog our memory again. Writing status updates. Definitely emails. So like responding to emails. Writing proposals. Documentation. You guys do documentations at all? One-on-ones. I mean, I have one-on-ones, absolutely. Client customer calls. Let's just say calls. So outreach or yeah. Let's just say calls, customer calls. customer calls. But what's involved in customer calls, so remember, at least for me, and hopefully other people are similar to this, if you have a customer call, there's the pre-call where you prep for that call. And, you know, is it a demo? What do you need to prepare for the call? Was there a previous call that you had follow-up actions that you need to now present? Hey, this is what I did for my follow-up actions. And then after the call, what do you do next? Do you do the summary of those calls? I see that we have a couple of note takers in here. There's the Read, there's my Fathom. I know other people have Fathoms. So that is a new AI tool. But before we did that, before we had Fathom, what did we do? Did we write it down? Did we try to remember, oh, I need to do these tasks? Did we create a task for us of to-do tasks to follow up from that call? So it's not just the call itself, it's everything involved around that call. Conflicts, one-on-ones, here, spotting trends in spreadsheets, creating weekly, monthly reports. Yeah, definitely reports. Schedule meetings, writing status updates. Let's just say update, dashboard updates. And I can't spell, leave me alone. Okay, all right, so we got a decent amount of tasks here. Obviously we could use more of our brain power and really put more time and thought and effort into this. Absolutely, there's no reason why we can't do this or can't come back to this, but let's just leave this as good for now, unless anyone wants to add anything else. Any other tasks you guys want to throw in? We're good? Okay.
You're good, man.
Okay, so monthly finance, so hours spent per week. So this would be the total. So these are things, you know, like looking at all of our finances, and I do this personally every month for my business and my personal finances. Everything that I spend, I look at all my credit card bills. I've been doing this for years. So I would probably say the total hours per week. So I do write everything down at the end of the month is when I take most of the time to organize everything, but I do keep it organized throughout the month. So I would probably say on average, it takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours at the end of the month, or at the beginning of the month to be more specific. But I probably do about 1 hour per week. So let's just say 1.5 hours total per week. And that's everything from like tracking my mileage or making sure that I, you know, if I get, you know, paid from a client or I pay someone to pay a vendor, what do I do with that receipt? Where do I put it? So I do spend a little bit of time moving stuff around. So notes on that. So paying, finances, and organization. All right, so how do I feel about it? Honestly, I think that's busy work. That's busy work. But it helps me understand my money, and I think that's important. Got to know where your money's coming in, where it's going out. Automation, AI workflow, agent ready, human only. Now, I've been doing this human only for a long time because I like to pay attention with this, but I think I can do an AI workflow. I think I can augment and I can turbocharge it and make it faster with AI. So I think we're going to do that for finances. So what about education? Spend per week. So I know that this is kind of an outlier that we're spending 30 minutes a day, but before, or if we're not doing this, how much are we truly spending on education per week? What do you guys think? What do you guys do on average?
Well, if you include the amount of time spent scouring through news feeds,
Yeah.
that adds up pretty quickly. So I would say at least an hour per day. So that would be 5 hours per week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I do look at newsletters and I would absolutely consider that education. And then also like watching demos, watching trainings. I'm going to be setting up Instantly here pretty soon. And I just watched a demo this morning. So before this, I watched about 35-minute demo of Instantly. So yeah, at least 5 hours a week, I think, probably more than that. Let's just say 5. Just go with that. About an hour per work day is maybe what the average person might do. All right, so notes, learning, education, growth, brain growth. All right, how do you feel about it? I don't know, energize. Does actually learning energize? Like this does, like this interactivity part, this is definitely energizing. But does reading those news updates, does reading the headlines, does watching demos, is that energizing? Or is
Could
it
be.
Busy work. Yeah,
Depends.
it could
Sometimes,
be.
you know, it triggers a thought and then you
Mhm.
get excited.
Yeah, yeah, or yeah, that is
Or
true.
it could be boring as well. It really depends on the material.
Right.
The
It's all
material.
about the content.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Hopefully, this part isn't the most boring education that you guys do. All right. So, energized, busy work. I don't. I would say it's both. I would say more energized. I'm gonna go with energized. I mean, I like to do if you're not learning, you're dying. If you're not growing, you have to learn. You have to educate yourself on what's happening. But how I do think, again, I think that we can use AI to help us do that better. You know, I definitely, so part of the AI, and I don't know if this is exactly AI, but a couple of years ago when watching demos, you had to watch them at regular speed or recordings. Now, if you are not live right now, you can watch this recording at 1.5 speed. And I probably talk like a chipmunk. And that's exactly what I do. I don't watch recordings real time anymore. I watch them at usually 1.25 or 1.5 speed to help me save time.
That's a good point.
And I don't know if that's AI, if AI has incorporated that. I just know that that wasn't like that 2 years ago. I don't know when the change happened, but it definitely has happened. All right, weekly meal planning. All right, I know I take a little bit of time on this. How long do you think you spend on this? This is the one that you brought up, Aniko. What do you think? Total time.
Well, I got quite fast at it now, but
Okay.
I find it boring. So when we get to the how do you feel about it, it's definitely boring and something I'd like to outsource to AI because we tend to have the same meals every week. So I'd spend about, let's say, up to an hour, half an hour, just to come up with the meals and then get the list of ingredients I have to add to my shopping list.
All right, so an hour, probably an hour a day, so 5 hours or 7 hours?
No, a week.
Oh, an
This is
hour a
my
week.
weekly plan. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so it's about an hour a week. Okay, the hour spent per week one. Let's just do about 1.5 because you said you optimized it, so we'll add a little bit for the average person. So this would be planning and shopping.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the actual shopping part, but yeah, so not the shopping, but
It is for me. I do a weekly shop, so I add it to my grocery shop.
yeah, okay, planning,
It is for the
shopping.
week.
Okay, all right. So yeah, we'll say 1.5. Automation. Can we automate that? Yeah, potentially. I think definitely not human only.
Definitely the shopping list creation from the meals, right? If I have the recipes, it can do it automatically.
Yeah, so we can definitely automate that. All right, paying bills. How long do we take to pay our bills? And I'm looking at time, so maybe we'll hold off on the rest of these because we're technically only 5 minutes until we have. I know we might be able to stay a few minutes late, or I can, but let's just call this as is right now, and we can always come back to this as necessary. But let's say paying bills. I don't know, per week. I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 1.5. Customer calls. That's a lot for me. For me, probably 15, probably more than that. Dashboard updates. Let's just say about 2. Okay, just some thoughts in this. All right. Okay, so classify each task. So we did that. Redesign our work week. All right, now that you're familiar, what would you say we built yesterday? An AI agent. All right, pro tip. So we can paste our task list into NotebookLM and ask it to generate a mind map showing our tasks by category. Oh, that would be cool. Okay, so we do this and throw that in. All right, let's do that one. Okay, okay, let's just fill this out real fast. So paying bills, we can automate paying our bills. Customer calls, I think that is human only, but we can have AI help us. So do the planning. So the pre-call prep, the post-call, what we need to do afterwards, the follow-up tasks.
And if it were pushing outbound emails, that would definitely be. And what would it be, an agent task?
Yeah, like cold emails.
Yeah, like a sequence that you want to launch. Yeah.
Maybe leads. Yeah, we can add that. I don't know how much you spend. Yeah, I know I definitely spend a lot of time. Let's just say 2. All right. Yeah, can we automate that? I mean, we probably could automate most of that. Dashboard updates. Yeah, what can we automate? Customer calls, I can do help. Okay. All right. And then dump this into NotebookLM. That would be, oh, I love NotebookLM, so I want to do that. If it takes a little bit longer, sorry, if you guys have to drop, please drop. I want to drop this into NotebookLM. I want to see what this looks like. So paying bills, so just, yeah, the organization. Okay, all the bills, definitely draining. Customer calls. I think that's the energizing. I like it. Dashboard updates, draining. Yeah. And yeah, okay. All right, customer calls, calling. But so I would say, but yeah, with the notes, this is the prep, the call, and post actions. Dashboard updates, filling out reports. Okay. All right. All right. We're already in here. Okay. All right. So create new notebook. Upload sources. All right. So let's take our tasks list here. Let's download this to PDF. All right. Copy of templates. There we go. Okay. We'll ask it to generate a mind map showing our tasks by category. All right. Now I'm sure we can make this a lot better. Okay. Automating tasks for weekly production. Drafting reports. Okay. So this is our source. There we go. Oh, we could have done mind map. Actually, we probably should have done mind map. But let's see what happens. Okay, that put it in here. Let's do it as a mind map. I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of people. I haven't had a chance to play around with NotebookLM as much as I wanted to. All right. What do we got? So weekly tasks, task inventory. Okay. Energized, drained. Does this take us? Oh, okay. So this takes us to different places. Okay, so what is energizing? These are the energizing ones. What are the draining tasks? Okay, so spotting trends, weekly meal planning. So then we can take this. Okay, I'm seeing what's going on, and then the busy work, drafting reports. So now we can focus on what we want to do. Okay, I don't want to focus on the energizing. I want to look at what I want to use AI for. So this is what I want to have in front of me. I want to minimize this part. This is kind of neat. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah. It takes a minute to get your head wrapped around it, but I see it now.
It does. It definitely does. And that's why I was like, how does this work? Because I haven't dealt a whole lot with mind maps like this, but I could see what I want to look at and minimize what I don't. So like I could, automation potential. So this is what helps me. Okay, this is the workflows. So I can look and see what's draining. So let's get rid of the busy work. Okay, so what do I not like to do, or what's draining my mental capacity? Looking for trends, paying bills, weekly meal planning, and updating dashboards. So that is at the front of my mind, not everything. So it's not all. So it's it's hiding what I don't want to pay attention to or what I don't want to see. And then
it's a bit like it's filtering the document based on different fields.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it's doing, and that's pretty cool. All right, I like this. This is a fan, or I'm a fan. And then now I can decide, okay, how do I want to use AI? So now that I've kind of filtered it out, just like you said, I've created that mental filter. Now it's a visual filter. Okay, what can I get rid of? and then what can I do here? So I've determined that I can use AI to spot trends and draft reports. So that'll help me with my draining problems the most. So how, like, what am I going to implement? Because obviously I can't do everything. No worries, Keith, you got to go. I get it. So obviously I can't do everything. So what am I going to focus on? What's the next thing, like today, tomorrow, that I can use AI to help me with my day? These are the things that I can do AI. These are the things that are draining me. So I think I would look at spotting trends and drafting reports. That would be my next. What am I going to do next with AI based off of, you know, the list that we created? So I can see how we get to that point to determine what I'm going to use AI for. That's pretty cool.
I'm just very surprised because I thought we added automation to a couple of things and NotebookLM didn't come up with those. See, automation, there's no, can't open it.
Was there? Oh, there was a lot in automation.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It didn't come up with anything. It only came up with these. Oh, wait, hold on. Automation potential. Maybe, hold on.
Maybe it doesn't agree with us.
Automation. Yeah, so automation, draining tasks. Yeah, that might be. Go away. That could be something else. Customer calls, daily education. What was that? Oops. Learning my education growth. Yeah, it didn't pull it through. Okay, you're absolutely right. It looks like it did show here, though. In contrast, automatable, daily education with a highly. Okay. Oh, we didn't put that there. So weekly meal planning, paying bills. Yeah, there might be a little bit of weirdness to this. Maybe it didn't catch everything. You're right. Automation potential. Maybe it's looking at all the ones that do have the automation. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's weird. That would be worth looking into to figuring out why it's not working the way it's supposed to. You're absolutely right. All right. So stuck. All right. So share the framework. We can upload the tasks into the AI tool. Oh, that's what we just did. Please read the framework and summarize it back to me. Yeah, I guess we didn't do that. We just dumped it in, but we didn't ensure that it was correct. Ask for classification. Okay, reflect and make decisions. Oh, we did this already. Spotting these time drains is key. You'll handle them. So where are we bleeding time? Look at our automatable tasks. Okay, we actually did this already. What can run on autopilot? Yeah, so that's what we're looking at, some of those tasks. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it didn't do all of it correctly, but at least we got some of that to understand, okay, this is what's draining us, and based off of what's draining us, yeah, what can we automate? But it's not absolutely correct. You did point that out. That works. All right, what's our human only? So mark 1 to 2 tasks where we want to invest more energy in. Examples, one-on-ones. That's where I should spend more time. Okay. What's our next move? All right, by the end of this week, I will automate or agentify our task so I can spend more time on what matters. So I think spotting trends, drafting reports, weekly meal planning. So what can we automate here? Paying bills that drains us. So for me, I would probably say, yeah, this definitely didn't do everything. It didn't pull all this stuff. So team check-ins, daily education, maybe weekly meal planning. So we'll automate. Let's do that. So I will automate our meal planning, figure out that, so I can spend more time on customer calls, customer lead calls, because that's what I like to do. I'm weird. All right. Don't forget to take a screenshot. Okay, Max, I'll take a screenshot. Getting yelled at by Max. Got it. Okay. All right, so some examples. We got that. Excellent. And share our work. We are done. There we go. Education lead. That's what she's going to do. She's going to clean her inbox to do more content creation. And that's it for the day. All right. I know we were a little bit long. Houston, we have a habit. We're there for 16 days. All right. Excellent. Thank you guys for staying with me. Was this helpful? Like, what do you guys think about today's lesson?
Yeah, I think it was great. I really should spend some time to think about what I do every week.
For your meal
Because
planning.
I'm sure there's loads of potential there, but I just never
Mhm.
stop to think about these things.
Yeah, totally understand. I actually have some stuff done for my meal planning. I'll actually send it to you. I'll send you what I do for my meal planning and see if it sparks any ideas. But I have 3 young kids. I have a full-time job, plus I have a
I have
business.
3 kids too. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Same,
excellent. Yeah,
same
so it's
shoes. Yeah. Thank
yes,
you.
absolutely. Yeah, I'll send you what I do and what helps with the meal plans. I'll just put it in the school community. All right, excellent. Well, thank you for attending. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this later, I do hope this was helpful and you gained some knowledge from this. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye all.
Thanks,
Bye.
Dan. Bye.
Bye-bye.